Martin.
Here.
Lunsman. Slate Hansen.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Bunceness.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Rux.
Here.
Mayor Leeson.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we need a motion to approve last week's minutes, please.
Moved.
Second. Motion, Slate Hansen, and second by Olson. Any changes? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. And we have with us tonight Mr. Wise, the new president, or what's your title?
People call it president, some people call it superintendent.
Okay, the head guy, Ron Colley. And this is, we've done this for a lot of years. This is Aberdeen Catholic Schools Week, whereas Catholic schools touch the future in many communities by furnishing leaders of tomorrow with basic human, moral, and spiritual foundations, and whereas Catholic schools strengthen the future of the community and the nation by keeping viable the right of freedom of religion under law. Catholic education has demonstrated its ability to contribute to the state's welfare throughout its history by raising levels of knowledge, competence, and experience. Catholic grade and high schools in South Dakota are educating thousands of citizens during the school year, and Catholic schools throughout the nation will be recognized with this theme: Catholic schools, learn, serve, lead, succeed. So we declare this Aberdeen Catholic Schools Week. And, Mr. Wise, if you take this. Mr. Wise and I have both shared the situation of having Mrs. Leifson in charge of us at one time or another. He was the assistant principal when my wife was the principal at Simmons Junior High, and if I remember right, had about 5 of your own children in the school system then. So tell us about your coming to Ron Colley and what you've got in mind for the Ron Colley system.
Well, after 17 years, I'm back in Aberdeen, and it felt like coming home. So thank you, Aberdeen, for carrying on the tradition of just a quality way of life. My wife and I are excited to come back. So we're excited about that. With regards to Aberdeen Catholic Schools Week, we kicked it off yesterday with the PTO Carnival. Great success up at the high school. And then the days are kind of divided in terms of who we celebrate. Today was celebrating community. And celebrating community meant we had a priest from the Bismarck Diocese come down, Father Josh Waltz, and he's going to be giving a talk over at Sacred Heart at 7 o'clock tonight also, and just talked about what it is, what God put us on earth for. And really a very dynamic speaker, and the kids really enjoyed him. Hopefully the parents will as well, and the public. Anybody's welcome. So that's celebrating our community. Tuesday, celebrating our students. It's just really a day of, it's very fun-filled games, celebrating being a Catholic student. Wednesday is celebrating our nation. I know the primaries inviting the servicemen in to their building, policemen, EMTs, of course our military service people, and so we want to recognize them. And of course Wednesday's the big day when the Bishop Swain comes to town from Sioux Falls. We're supposed to be celebrating Mass on Wednesday. I will tell you that that's in dire danger as we look at the weather forecast. But whatever happens, we will have an all-school Mass. We ship all the kids up to the high school. We invite the public in, and we want to celebrate all of the things that the Catholic faith has done for education, and so we just want to really celebrate that. Thursday, we celebrate vocations. We'll have the religious coming into the buildings. We'll actually have a young man just freshly married. So whatever vocation these students of ours choose in their life, they'll get kind of a pep talk and a different way of looking at each one of them. And then finally, Friday, we celebrate faculty and staff, and so they're doing some fun things. I know we have the elementary school having their annual Ron Colley Olympics, And so they have a good time. So anyway, what we're trying to do is we're just really trying to celebrate all that Catholic education brings to Aberdeen. So thank you.
All right, welcome back. You know, another example, there's so many educators who have served both in the Catholic system and the public system in Aberdeen over the years, and just kind of a affirmation of both systems.
We really feel that whether our students are going to the public schools or to Roncalli or even Aberdeen Christian, Aberdeen is lucky because we have a very good education system. So it's great to be here.
All right, have a good week.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda, we have no one here for open forum, so we would need a motion to approve items A, B, and C in the consent calendar.
So moved.
Motion Ronine, second by Remley. Questions on any? All in favor of approving, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Under new business, ordinance 190101, authoring the issuance and sale of bonds for TIF 29. Carl.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the next step of the TIF number 29 process. Of course, the resolution creating the district was held and passed. This would provide the funds once the ordinance is adopted and finalized with publication. Then the funds will be placed and we'll pay the contractors.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Rux, second by Ronane. Maximum issuance $3,104,000. Questions, anyone? Roll call for first reading, please. Carl.
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronane.
Aye.
Slate Hansen.
Aye.
Johnson. Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux.
Aye.
Mayor Leeson.
Aye, motion carries. Item B, this is the appointed time for a public hearing on the final approval of sale of the former Alexander Mitchell Library. We see no one here to speak in opposition to that, so I will turn it over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. With the public hearing concluded, I would ask that the council approve a motion to approve the sale to Klein Street LLP. Klein Street LLP is the entity that was comprised of Dr. Grebner and Dr. Kaiser, the original signatures on the purchase agreement. And I would also note that the legal description that you see there may have a minor modification once it goes through the title process. I'm not sure that we might see a small change to the in-lot 12 language there that might be deleted. Other than that, though, we would request that the council approve this sale and move forward with closing on Thursday.
Move approval. Second.
Motion Olson and second by Rux. The listed purchase price on the agenda is $525,000, less closing costs. Questions, anyone? Not all those in favor of approving, go ahead with that. Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. And thanks for your many hours of work on this. You and Lynn particularly have spent a lot of time getting us to this point. This is also the time for a hearing on an Aberdeen Chamber short-term liquor license, February the 14th at Plains Commerce Bank, March 14th at Boys and Girls Club.
Move.
Second.
Motion Remley, second by Slade Hansen. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item D, a parking district assessment abatements for property in the city limits. Carl, are you?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I was notified by the county auditor's office that the assessor had missed the historic property tax freeze, property valuation freeze for 2 properties within the downtown district. Because the parking assessment is based on valuation, that was higher than it should be, so this would abate the portion that's higher than should be. It should be, it's still at last year's level.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion Busness, second by Johnson. Questions on this one? All in favor of approving that abatement, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Grant, you're here to talk about this next item, grant award from the Department of Transportation.
Yes. Again, this is just looking for authorization to approve the grant paperwork. This is a 5310 award for preventative maintenance on the buses. Federal share of $12,020.16, local share of $3,005.04 for a total of $15,025.20.
Move approval.
Second that.
Motion Business, second by Johnson. Questions on this one? All in favor of approving, then say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
And I think I've got the list here somewhere. Just taken to burying this list in the back of my, there we are.
That's
Okay.
progress.
Yes, go ahead.
I had done a little research on this particular issue in our chapter under warrants and disbursements for municipalities. Does not require, although it is practice, does not require that the council have read out loud the bill list for every meeting. That's obviously something you folks can continue if you want, but otherwise you can dispense with that and move simply to pass the bill list that's set forth in the agenda packet.
We very rarely get questions. I guess I would leave it up to the council if you,
I would move to approve the bills as set forth in the agenda packet.
Second.
motion Ronay and second by Bunsness to approve the bills without reading them individually. Questions or comments on the motion? No. Carl, roll call then, please.
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Slate Hansen,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Leveson.
Aye. Motion carries. 15 years I've been reading that list, and now you tell me we don't have to.
I guess my question is, what brought this up? What?
Well, to get into it, really into the woods here was actually a larger discussion about the preparation of the agenda.
Okay.
And, we were looking at ways to streamline things, and that was one thing that was discussed.
Okay.
We're spending way too much time on the meeting? Is that what you're telling us?
Break that 7-minute record.
Yeah.
We may have just given Leafson, Mayor Leafson years on his voice left.
Yeah. Some of those have been like 30 or 40 items sometimes. Lynn, city manager report.
Okay, thank you. I have a lot of smaller items I would like to go through this evening. It won't take long. Unfortunately, the vaping presentation by the police department will not happen this evening because of the storm. We had to allocate our manpower in other areas early in the morning, and so that prevented these individuals from coming. But the chief has promised me he will schedule it for the near future, and I'll let you know in advance. Another item I had within the manager's report, if you remember right, we talked about the water system development charge, and that fee had not changed since 2004. I did a sample calculation of what that fee would be if in fact you use the CPI inflation. I put a copy of that within your packet, and then on average it would increase the fee 35% over what it is today if you took the CPI increases from 2004 to 2018. Another item I put within your packet was request for proposal for pitch and control services. This actually, in the end, I will give you a copy of the results, and we can debate it at a later date. The contract doesn't expire until the end of April, but I wanted to get it done where we had adequate time to go through it, where we can talk about it. But I really didn't change. I have no intentions of really changing much within that contract proposal, other than put it within the contract that requires that they provide us an annual written report. I've been asking for them, but I would like it be provided within the contract that is a requirement. I believe I'm going to have two proposals. I had two inquiries, and the deadline was 5 o'clock today, and I wasn't in the office at that time, and so we'll see what happens. Another item, Wiley Park campground reservations. This is the first year that we could do reservation and online payment at the same time. And Doug reported results to me. Over 63% of the people went online, where 37% went in-house. And so I guess the public's appreciating the fact that we have this service available for them. Another item, Senate Bill number 34. An act to make an appropriation for the replacement of the Elm Lake Dam spillway. If this bill is approved, the Office of School and Public Lands will be approaching the city and other entities about an agreement to participate in replacement costs. This dam was built in 1937. If I remember right, when I talked to the gentleman that's in charge of Office of School and Public Lands, I can't think of his name now, Brunner? He had indicated that they'd done over $300,000 in repairs in the last 10-year period, and it's come to the point where it actually needs to be replaced. I know that bill went through the Appropriations Committee, but it's yet to be, approved as a final bill. I just wanted you aware of the fact that I wouldn't be surprised that that bill will be approved. Matter of fact, it was in the governor's budget also. And so there'll be a time where they'll come in and ask for the city to participate. As I stated, the dam was built in 1937. The estimated cost for replacement is $1.5 million. And within the Senate Bill 34, it shows a state amount of $500,000. So I think they'll be looking for other amounts from other entities. In the past, Robin told me it was split 4 ways.
Split 4 ways.
It was
1994. Yep.
the city of Aberdeen, School
Brown
Public
County.
Lands, Brown County, and Watershed District.
Yeah, James River Water.
James River.
Okay. And that's all I have at this time. Oh, Robin, will you flip me over to my computer? I wanted to show you a picture of the new jet bridge. And there's
Wow.
a picture of it. They had a ribbon cutting at 4:30 today. I didn't make it there because I forgot about it. But if I remember right, I was told that it's 150 feet long, which is almost a half a block.
Mm.
And it's warm.
And it's warm. You'll think you're getting on a 747 when you walk on it. It's nice.
Chief McNeil, you had mentioned before the meeting some interesting activities for your people last night.
Yeah, so we all know that we're in a blizzard warning, and I think that started at 9 o'clock last night, and the wind, if you're outside or kind of paying attention, didn't really come at 9 o'clock, but at about 9:30, 10 o'clock it did come, and it wasn't a gradual buildup. And as it came, it caught a lot of motorists off guard. So instantly when the wind came in very strong, we started to look at the calls we're having, and we had probably 10 or 12 motorists in the county, some up by Frederick, some south, some close to Aberdeen, that were stranded. So that put a lot of first responders out there trying to come up with plans to, rescue those people. And I talked to emergency management, our fire department, and we came up to, the conclusion that there were, because of the wind and the visibility issues, there weren't any real easy ways to go rescue people. So the message is pay attention to those weather warnings. As people were calling in, they were reporting that they were stuck. They couldn't see how much gas they had in their car, how much cell phone life they had. So all those things, the dispatch center started to log, and we started to kind of create an idea of where people are at. But all those things make a big difference in this weather. And now we're looking at some extreme cold with wind chills. So I would just caution people to be really careful. It's life-threatening, now. So
Did some of them spend a lot of time out
yeah,
there?
they did. So it's probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock, the calls started to come in, and talking to emergency management, I think the last person was rescued at about 4 a.m. So people did spend hours in their cars, and again, the visibility was extreme, and just talking to the fire chief, trying to figure out ways if there were immediate needs. There aren't any quick and easy solutions, so just paying attention to the weather makes a big difference. I know the Game and Fish has a vehicle, a tracked vehicle that we called and put on standby, and we didn't have to use that. Our first responders, some of them actually got stuck and were able to get themselves out, but the sheriff's office, the highway patrol, they did a good job going out, and we rescued a few people as well on the outskirts of city, not too far out, but it was a bad night.
What kind of things did you do? Because you're driving out with the same kind of vehicles
Yeah.
that these people are in, so we're putting our police officers in the same risky situation. I mean, I'm assuming. So is that actually what you did? You just
Yes.
put a car on the road and said,
Yep.
go try to find them?
Yep, so you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, and you go very slow, and at times you stop, and you stay in contact with the people. Probably the biggest thing, our dispatch center was doing is just telling people to stay in their cars. There was a situation where there were 2 cars that we finally got to north of town, and the drivers weren't in the cars anymore. So we weren't, for a time period, we weren't sure those people walked from the cars or if somebody picked them up, but then that required us to do follow-up to find those individuals. So this is a scary and frightening situation, but yeah, I heard a highway patrolman was driving with his head out the window, but it's just, there's not easy solutions when you have that with no visibility. So, yeah.
I forgot, I should announce this. We will not be doing garbage pickup on Wednesday when the high is -20. We'll do a double pickup on Thursday. I don't think our men should be out in that type of atmosphere.
Robin, anything from your department?
Well, I think today's snow removal went as well as could be expected. We'll be downtown tonight. It's getting more and more difficult to plow. There's just no room, there's no capacity left in the boulevard. So as a result, more and more of this stuff is going into driveways, and it's frustrating the public, there's no question. This leads me back to kind of that Snowgate question, that right now with the lack of capacity, the Snowgates would do us virtually no good at all, because we can't get it using the entire length of the boulevard, much less take away part of the boulevard. It would just narrow the streets up to the point where you wouldn't be able to use them.
I guess I haven't seen this. You probably did it last year, but I'm not sure you did it this year yet. And that is use the front end plows to knock down the windrow across a connecting street. Have you been doing that?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I guess I noticed it more today than ever.
Part of it depends on timing. The plows may be used in other functions, but yes, we try to do that as often as we can.
Okay.
We're starting to get calls and emails about the sidewalks, and so if we could remind people to be very, very good stewards and clear their sidewalks. Not everybody gets a ride to school, and so we're getting reports again that the kids are needing these sidewalks. I heard that the school's canceled because of the cold weather, so that might give people opportunity to clear their sidewalks, but they're more and more important. And as we're talking about where snow is going, it's getting challenging, but I would really want people to clear those sidewalks, because we're going to be coming out and probably ticketing people that aren't. So thank you.
Mark?
Has anybody heard about Aberdeen Taxi? Is there something going on there? Are they still in business, or are they not still in business? Or I just heard that today, that they.
I just saw a
I can
taxi.
speak to that. I had one of their drivers come in today to pick up an application. They ceased business today.
That's exactly what I heard, so. Okay.
Anything else from anyone? Good work for your drivers and your police officers. It's good to hear they're getting things done.
Move to adjourn. Second.
Motion Johnson, second by Bunsness to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.